All right, you guys know I like to do book recommendations. This is the Mythological Septuagint. Mythological Septuagint by Dr. Peter S. Ruckman. And The Damnation of a Nation. The Damnation of a Nation by Peter S. Ruckman. Two very, very good books. I suggest you check them out if you are a reader and you have time. Okay, let me find my egg timer. I lost my egg. There it is. Okay. Okay. So I think I'll label or title this video, I'm living in a world full of lunatics. I mean, just absolute lunatics. Hold on, let me get this sign right here. Hold up. You guys remember this? You guys remember this sign? African Americans for Obama? African Americans for Obama. Turn it around 180 degrees. European Americans for Cracker David Duke. African Americans for Obama. So we got people. It's like the epitome of hypocrisy everywhere I look. Ron Paul. Let's just start off with him. Ron Paul. I defend the Constitution. I've defended the Constitution for decades. I am a proponent of libertarian values. Hey, Ron Paul. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5, natural born citizen. No. That's not important. That's not important. I don't want to talk about that. That's the epitome of hypocrisy. Matt Drudge, the place to go to find the news that no one will report. Matt Drudge will report the truth. When all the other news stations have sold out to big corporations and big government and have been controlled by corporate interest, Matt Drudge will tell you the truth. Except Matt Drudge won't report on the birth certificate anymore. Yet Matt Drudge is becoming more and more popular, but he won't report on the... Okay. And we got Bill O'Reilly, the no spin zone, Bill O'Reilly, where the spin stops here. Oh, okay. It's you know, I don't even like. It's not so much the liberals and the secular atheists that upset me so much. They're just doing what comes natural to them, right? It's the people that pretend to be for freedom, the Constitution, and justice. They pretend to be honorable. They pretend to have integrity. They pretend to have honor. They have sold the American people down the river for fame and fortune. They've exalted their own place in the world, and they will not tell you the truth. They will not tell you the truth because they're making a whole lot of money selling umbrellas in a rainstorm. Sarah Palin, making money selling umbrellas in a rainstorm. Alan West is concerned about his next political run, and he can't tell you the truth about the birth certificate. Alan West is a sellout. Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck. And what concerns me more than anything is that the people that I talk to and the people that I communicate with on YouTube, most of you, now there's a very small portion that see through all the BS, most of you, the overwhelming majority of the so-called Christian conservative right, they give all these people a pass. They think it's okay. They think it's okay for Ron Paul not to talk about the birth certificate, not to talk about 9/11. They think it's okay for Matt Drudge, the reporter of news that nobody else will tell you, to not talk about the birth certificate. Just give him a pass. You know, he's on our side. He ain't on my side. He ain't on the side of truth. Everybody knows that birth certificate is a forgery. Everybody knows Obama lied about it. And yet nobody wants to get on Matt Drudge's case. Just how could you do that? And then let me ask you this: all you folks who despise and loathe Alex Jones. I'm not a blind follower of Alex Jones, but every time I watch him, give me one example where he's knowingly deceived the public. Just give me one example, okay? The man works his butt off. He tries every day to do the best that he can. There are some times when I would do things a little different, but for the most part, he seems to be working his butt off to do the right thing. right? And yet you guys seem to despise him. You just loathe him. You call him a snake charmer, right? Give me just one example where he's knowingly deceiving the public. There are a few things where I wouldn't do things in the way that he's doing them. And in the beginning, he said some things that everybody says some things that I disagree with. There's not one person that I agree with 100%. But for you guys to attack him the way that you're attacking him, it reminds me when I went to go see Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin's trial, and his fellow Army folks, right? His fellow Army folks that were in the military just turned on him, man. They couldn't stand the fact that Terry Lakin was standing up for the truth, making them look bad. And I remember some woman with short hair sitting in the jury box, and they were interviewing her to be a jury, and she sat back and she says, well, I follow orders. Terry has a problem following orders, but I follow orders. See, it's like, Terry made them people look bad is what the deal is. Because Terry stood up for the truth. And everybody knows that birth certificate is a forgery. And everybody knows that he's not eligible. And yet, he stood up for the truth. And when he stood up for the truth, rather than joining him and say, yeah, he's right, we need to do something about this, they thought about, how does this affect me? This makes me look foolish. This makes me look cowardly. I'm not going to stand up and do anything. You know what I mean? I'm living in a world full of lunatics. I'm living in a world full of hypocrites, cowards, sellouts. Let me tell you something. I would give my life today to break the truth on this birth certificate issue, on this eligibility issue. If this eligibility issue had been fixed in 2008, do you know how many lives people would be alive today that are dead now? Michael Hastings, Breitbart. The list goes on and on and on. And when you think about the things that he's done in the military, the things that have happened in Libya, Benghazi. If somebody had done the right thing back in 2008, Chiyomi Fukino, remember that? Remember Chiyomi Fukino? Who's the dang governor of that freaking Hawaiian state? I can't even think of his name now. Remember when he said he was going to release the information from Hawaii as soon as he became governor, and then you didn't hear anything about it after he had a chance to take a look at it? See, you let this go on and on and on and on. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And he's going to become more and more bold because you guys won't hold people accountable. You will not hold people accountable like Ron Paul. You will not hold people accountable like Matt Drudge. You will not hold people accountable. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And instead of standing up and fighting it. May God bless and protect the righteous. May he bring justice to the wicked. And if I have to separate myself from everybody in the whole world, I'm going to stand up for the truth. I ain't aligning with any of you. I ain't becoming one with all of you guys. I'm not going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya with you. I'm not going to go look to join a group. There is a good video I want to recommend before I close this video. Behold a Pale Horse by Charlie Daniels. You need to go check it out. I've only seen about an hour of it. It's a pretty good video. I just want the truth to come out. And some of you guys don't put a priority on the truth. You put a priority on your comfortness. You put a priority on what makes you feel good. And we need more men and women that are willing to die for the truth. We got enough people willing to die for lies. Think of what Hitler's army did for him, right? Think of some of the stories you've heard about some of the things that Hitler's army endured, right? And will you endure that? You call yourself a Christian. What are you enduring for the truth? What are you enduring to make sure that righteousness is progressed in the world, right? If it makes you, if people make fun of you, or if they call you a racist, they shut you down, right? Matter of fact, people that stand up for the truth, you want to pull them down to your level instead of support them. I say to hell with Matt Drudge, to hell with Bill O'Reilly, to hell with Sean Hannity, to hell with Rush Limbaugh, Sarah Palin, Ron Paul, Glenn Beck, to hell with all of them. I ain't aligned with any of them. I don't consider any of them conservative. I consider all of them sellouts, and that their position has been lifted up in the world. Because you know why? Because they have put a priority on their pocketbook and a priority on their prestige versus a priority on just telling the truth. Just tell the truth. But nobody will do that, will they? Seems like anytime anybody becomes popular, they just lose the ability to tell the truth. Or they lose their balls, one of the two. I don't know which. Maybe they lose both. I don't know what's going on. But I'm in a world full of hypocrites and a world full of lunatics. And I can't stand 99% of you. I can't wait to be separated from almost everyone in humanity. There's just a few. You know, the path is narrow, right? The path is very, very, very narrow. And the world don't spin either, by the way. Hey, did I mention that? The world don't spin. The world ain't moving. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't moving through space. And stick that in your pipe and smoke it.